The minor rages on. We started with 8 and already we've waved goodbye to 1 here on the first day of play in Bucharest. It is alternate attacks that fall in a best of 3, this time to Godsent, who do throw that blow in 2. And so the German side are forced to go ahead and either watch or sit in the hotel and mull it over where on earth things went wrong for them, as they will not be progressing further in their battle for the major qualifier. Up next we do have LDLC Godsent, who again are in that elimination stage. One of these teams will be going home, we'll have just 6. But actually, over in Group B, it's happening already. We can bring up the brackets to recap what's been going off on the other side of the stream, of course being broadcast by a partner. You can find the information there at hltv.org, but you can see Heroic did fall to Epsilon to start things off, and Epsilon have been on a tear. They're in the kind of the bracket that was Space Soldiers and are locked in for that semi-final that will be played out a little later on. Hellraisers fell to Ents, which I think, Natu, you very, very both happy about, but also surprised about. Hellraisers one of the big dogs coming into this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, happily surprised, obviously. You know, coming into the tournament, our boys didn't have the best possible situation, having to go in with a stand-in, and they lost some silly rounds in that game. It could have ended earlier for them too. But you know, end of the day, the only thing that really matters is a W. Yeah.
And Heroic and Hellraisers is playing right now into a third map. So if you're sitting there on the edge of your seat, you're an avid Heroic fan, want to see how they're performing without Glaive, or if you want to see if Hellraisers are going to be able to get even closer to that major that we saw them have some limited success in last time over in Cologne, you can. And you can go ahead and check that out. You can find all the information on where that's broadcast over on hltv.org. For now, though, gentlemen, we have ourselves LDLC versus Godsent. We have to again remind you guys at home how on earth we got here as well. This is actually through Group A. We've had a fair share of surprises ourselves, actually, Halvor. I mean, we had some underdog stories. We started, of course, with Space Soldiers alternate attacks, and that match was, I think, messy, to be summarized.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Messy with the side of Sloppy T side.
Yeah. Oh, a nice side of Sloppy T side.
Yeah, who doesn't love that, right? Yeah, I just think just the fact that Space Soldiers made it through kind of already set for the semifinals of the bracket stages is a pretty big surprise in itself, especially given that, at least on paper, I would say that Group A was the toughest group going into this. So, yeah, definitely surprising and very encouraging to see from them. They're just continuing on with their progress.
Yeah, and now it is a question of what LDLC can do. Yeah. LDLC versus Godsent should prove to be a good one.
Yeah, I don't think like Space Soldiers going through in a sense is a massive surprise to any of us really, but them going first, I guess.
Is not dropping a map, getting to the semi-finals in 2 best of ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I guess everyone would have thought Godsent would finally deliver and be that first spot from this group.
Yeah,
it's the Turkish side.
Group B is. Well, yeah, and Group B as well. Obviously, Epsilon coming out first was definitely something I didn't expect. I expected Hellraisers to claim that first spot without too many issues. Obviously, they're fighting for their lives right now versus Heroic. Epsilon pretty much called up Kala on Tuesday, or like, hey, Dublin kind of got sold to Fnatic, so we need a player. Can you stop by Romania?
I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming Epsilon are not going to have any hard feelings. When an offer from Fnatic comes along, you're not going to be too critical.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of have to be realistic about it, right? In terms of what... I think it would be extremely... slightly borderline delusional of them to expect Dublin to turn down Fnatic just from... First, prestige, and obviously the opportunity to play with those players, and also from a monetary aspect of it as well, because it's not just a big stepping stone for or not stepping stone, but a big opportunity for Dublin, but it's also having that security. Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, the Fnatic name is synonymous with successful Counter-Strike teams at this point in time. So, you kind of can't really fault Dublin for doing that. But that's going on elsewhere. I told you already where you can go find that. For now, let's focus on the match in hand. LDLC versus Godsent. We'll start by talking about Godsent. Before we do address their strengths and weaknesses that we've seen even just today here in Bucharest, let's go ahead and remind the guys at home what these guys look like. It's Godsent. We've been talking an awful lot about this Swedish roster. We've highlighted their strengths, their weaknesses, but we can also reflect upon their performance versus alternate attacks. Where, and you'll have seen if you check social media and are an avid follower of the boys sent from God, it is indeed the fact that they felt like they played with a whole lot more confidence. Now, Natu, I think that's the train of thought I'd like to kind of follow, right? Is a team based around confidence is surely a team prone to inconsistency.
Well, think about Fnatic. I mean, the lineup they had previously. I mean, everyone feared them. You know, they had everything going for themselves. When they went into the matchup, everyone thought they were definitely not optimistic about playing Fnatic, right?
Yeah.
Right now, Godsent has fallen to being almost like a laughingstock to a lot of the community, at least, right? And it's not going to be easy for them for sure.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a weird scenario where normally you'd fear going up against players like this, and now it's just like, oh yeah, we kind of got a nice matchup on our hands.
Yeah,
that it doesn't seem right really when you look at the lineup, but. To the defense of Godsent, they have been looking better and better as the games have gone along. They've played 3 maps here so far, and that's always a promising sign. But I'm always wary about teams that talk about, we need confidence to succeed. It's the same thing with G2 as well.
Scary.
Because you can have masterful performances, but it's like you said, it's going to be a consistency issue.
And how do you quantify it? How do you quantify confidence? Like, oh, I'm feeling confident today.
It's a case of getting the right wins at the right time. Like that's like what people talk about when they want confidence, right?
Obviously, but when you're starting off a tournament and you like going into the tournament, you're talking about, if we could get off to a good start, we're going to be confident about winning. Then you start off the tournament by losing. At that point, just break you mentally. Like if you're let's say that weak that you need to be confident to perform, against what we would classify as, I guess, lesser opponents than what you're going to go going up against at the final qualifier, right? If that's the kind of place you find yourself in, then that doesn't bode well at all.
Yeah. It's human mind.
Well, here's a confidence booster or not. It's the fact that Godsent are meeting LDLC, a team that they've already lost to. That's certainly going to put some confidence behind the French side, and let's talk about them now. It's time to meet LDLC. I don't know what it is, but I just find myself drawn to that Alex player. Something about it, he just feels right to me.
Beautiful name, eh?
Beautiful name, absolutely. And something to do with that Union Jack by his
nice
name.
Flag.
Such a great flag.
UKCS is
alive.
a rare sighting.
So I think just to clarify for people at home who are confused, what's a UK player doing on a French roster? Or I say French-speaking roster. Mm-hmm. You were telling me in the green room, he's English-born. English parents, French speaking, moved early.
Kind of similar deal as Waylander, I would assume, basically. Yes. So, has the flag on, everywhere he goes as Finnish, but pretty much doesn't speak a lick of it.
Don't tell me he doesn't speak English. I'm going to go find him.
No, not with Alex, but, with Waylander, that's the case. But I'm assuming he knows basic English.
I think most of them do, actually.
Yeah.
But that's a relief just for me, just so I'm still calling that.
Yeah, it's hard for you to be patriotic about him if he doesn't actually speak your language, is it?
No. I mean, the best we've got is we've got Weber and Co. and then Henry G. I mean, that's how you know you're in trouble.
You're stretching.
You really are stretching. But
it's like we got the guy who retired about 4 years ago, and then he might come back.
And then the man that used to take CRT monitors under his arm to epic hands. Oh, much love to Weber, still the pinnacle of our UK CS squad. But I'm going to get some lovely tweets for that one, I'm sure. Moving into LDLC Godsent, the fact that it is a rematch. Let's not forget that this happened already, and it was a bit of a bumpy ride for both teams. An overtime victory to LDLC, 21 rounds to 19. And I've said it once, I described the previous match as messy, but I mean, Natu, there were some hard to describe plays made by both LDLC and Godsent. I'm thinking of one in particular.
Well, I also want to point out that Toino is playing in a similar fashion that we would hope to see from JW a lot of the times. Taking relentless risks that do pay off because he can hit those shots he's taking consistently. So I think that's going to be a fun thing to see here if he gets away of being in kind of really super awkward positions, trying to get those cheeky 2 kills and then fall back, being that kind of a guy who's going to destroy the whole idea of the attack that Godsent's going to try to throw at LDLC.
Such a very good point, almost a counterpart to JW on the server. But the server is going to be this time in a best-of-3 format, not forgetting we just have the one before. And I want to start talking maps here then. Halvor, looking at you first of all, we did see Overpass. What's the likelihood of seeing it crop up again? Wait.
Well, it's there.
It's likely, I would say, actually. Yeah.
What would you say? It's a 100% chance?
I would say 100%. Oh, hang on.
Oh, wait. There's a 0% chance we're not going to see... Or not going to see.
Stop it. Stop trying to be Moses. Yes, so Overpass as a third. We have Train selected by Godsent. Looks like they're probably... I mean, we talked about confidence, boys. I guess taking a map you've just picked up a win on is a step in the right direction, wouldn't you say, Natu?
Yeah, I mean, definitely is. I mean, they've been progressively getting better, like we've been pointing out. There's still spotty things here and there, obviously. But, yeah, you want to go... When you are in this situation that they are in, you got to go for the comfort pick. It is just the only feasible solution.
We get to see our first Dust 2 of the minor here.
And by a French team. What a shocker.
Never saw that coming.
Have the French historically been known as Dust 2 heroes?
Yeah, exactly. They have been. And they've destroyed dreams on that map for a lot of teams in 1.6, in Source, and in CSGO.
Yeah. Something about it. I always thought it was kind of a German map. I always thought that like Mouse Sports had always been known as the D2 Wonders. You're looking at me like I'm talking French now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there might be a spot for you in LDLC at this point.
Fine. I'm just going to text God B. I'll be like, you were good at Dust 2, right?
I mean, your prediction game's on point, though.
So far, so good.
Well, actually, we have to highlight the fact that you did split the series in our last game.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't get to do a pre-show, you said that you were going to go against us no matter what at this point.
It doesn't count because we didn't do it. Look, this little thing. Wait, I'm trying to point. This little thing wasn't there. And so it doesn't count. So the analyst prediction thing didn't come up. So I'm still 3 out of 4.
I feel like the graphics guy can easily salvage that.
Salvage that.
Get on it.
Well,
just like a big Alex fail.
This
would be nice.
This is me asking for the whole series now. We're actually not going to be doing it on a map by map basis. So instead, I'm actually going to be asking how you believe LDLC Godsent in a best of 3 plays out. Question 1: do we see Overpass? Looking at you first, Halvor.
I'm thinking no.
Okay.
And I'm actually... Okay, so this is me going on a bit of a limb. I'm actually thinking that it's going to be 2-0 for LDLC.
Whoa.
Wow, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
you're obsessed at this point.
No. But honestly, LDLC...
It's getting hot in here.
LDLC's train, it's not a map that they play too often, but it's not a map that they're completely lost on.
Sure.
In any sense. And I'm assuming they're not going to do the elementary mistakes we saw attacks do that allowed Godsent to have such a successful CT side. And when it comes to Godsent's T side, I think it's not necessarily... Well, it's not anything revolutionary to the point where LDLC shouldn't have a good idea of how to actually defend against it. So at that point, it comes down to individual performances. Okay. But we've seen so much up and down from Godsent that I'm not really feeling comfortable at just following through with them as a prediction.
Fair enough. How about you, Natu?
Yeah, I mean, this tournament is going to be just utterly a catastrophe when it comes to predictions. I mean, you kind of have to go on a limb,
of course,
one way or the other, right? I'm going to side with Godsent, though. I mean, the engines are starting slowly but surely. I feel like this is the point in time where they're going to prevail. I think there's going to be a bump on the road, though, and that's going to be Dust 2. So I think it's going to go to Overpass, but they will get their revenge on Overpass.
No, Alex.
Well, that's really screwed me up.
The moment of truth.
So I have to tip the scales then.
Yeah, and you actually have to give a reason for it this time, except we went the opposite route.
Okay, so I'm going to try and be an analyst for a second. Hang on.
All right.
I'm going to put my analyst headset on. I think this is going to go full 3 maps. I think LDLC are going to take Dust 2. I do think that we're going to be seeing Overpass. And in terms of winning Overpass, I'm going to actually side with LDLC. I feel like let's not forget that we've seen it already. LDLC picked it up once before. They made some mistakes. They were killing each other. And yet they still managed to win. And they still managed to win. So I guess if logic prevails and if Godsent stop hitting all their shots, LDLC are going to win. There you go. I did it. Wow, that was really hard. God, I don't envy you guys.
Well, there you have it. You came to a conclusion.
Yeah, hosts starting to do predictions. This is the new meta, boys. But I mean, I would like to see a full 3 maps. That 2-0 was rather underwhelming. I think Godsent. Do you guys genuinely believe that Godsent have got the skill ceiling available to them at an event like this? Or is this more of a 6 months down the line with this roster we can see the good Godsent?
I think they could definitely make it through. I think if they beat LDLC, that the world's their oyster at that point, and not necessarily like LDLC is kind of the gatekeeper of all gatekeepers, but obviously they have to make it to a bracket stage. And at that point, kind of that experience kicks into high gear for a lot of them, and going up against a lot of teams that don't have that same caveat to them, that's obviously going to be beneficial. And I think that again, it's a confidence team, right? So getting through the brackets, that's going to feel good for them, and it's just going to build up to the point where you might see like a kind of a death machine coming up from Godsent.
Also you can see from teams when it gets to in a situation, the best of one, you see a lot of upsets. In those but then in a best of 3, you see the team with more experience within the lineup, getting them more comfortable. They're willing to take more risks. Unconsciously, probably they don't really think about it, but they kind of take that extra 5% when it needs to happen. So I feel like that's going to be a differentiating matter in this game.
I will add one thing to kind of back up my LDLC pick here. And we're going to do this like we're doing. We talked about this before we went live, and that's the fact that Existence has had just a history of being extremely good versus Pronex teams.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
That's a point we haven't made yet on the desk. It's true.
Yeah, and it's even so apparent that I can see Apex talking about it as well on social media. The fact that it's just like he has been that thorn in Pronex side at any given time.
Wasn't it? It was the game against LDLC where he dropped 9 frags as well, wasn't it?
On our test. And Existence dropping 33.
Man, there might be some genuine, like, kind of weird voodoo going on here. Yeah. We should summon some more Witch Doctors as well. Actually, I believe Blue and Risk are around. Gentlemen, it does seem like we're at least expecting a third map, and the desk is split. Does that mean the caster desk is split?
I'll let you answer this one first. Where are your thoughts heading?
Okay, so basically my heart says LDLC, but my brain says Godsent, of course.
Go with that brain. We've learned this from experience, Risk. Take it from us.
I'm going to say 2-1 for Godsent of joining some of the voices on the desk. But I have to say it's pretty one point the whole theory about Pronax and Existence and that whole thing. So I think that will be prevalent in the maps and in the rounds that LDLC are going to take, because I think it's going to be very, very close between these two.
Second guessing each other. Blue, what about you?
I'm actually going the other route. I'm thinking Godsent's actually going to take this one.
How split is this?
Now they've gotten the ball rolling a little bit here, I feel like they are kind of unstoppable even going up against Existence. The problem is that I don't think that roster has the experience that's brought to the table, and now that these guys have kind of gotten through that bit of a shaky period there, I feel like they are still going to come out pretty stronger. I think it's going to go 3 maps, but I think it's going to be a 2-1 for Godsent.
Okay, so is that 2 for Godsent, 3 for LDLC?
No, it would be 3 for Godsent.
Yeah, 3 for Godsent, 2 for LDLC.
It's you and me, in it together.
Holding hands.
Yeah.
Fine, I see how it is. All right, gents, we'll let you go ahead and jump into the game. I hope you enjoyed the 3 maps.
All right, thank you very much, Machine. Well, we will get prepared to jump into this first one, of course, in just a few moments here. But now, let's elaborate a little bit more on this initial matchup here. Godsent, again, now going up against the LDLC. We've already seen the best of 1. Goes into overtime there. Yeah. Bit of a mess-up, really, on both teams there, but it was clearly Godsent who was weaker in the best of 1. However, it's been a bit of an evolution from this team. They've shown much stronger strides now going into the lower bracket. They were able to take control of that best of 3, and now, of course, they're here facing them again in a much longer matchup here. Yeah, that's going to test, I think, the LDLC roster a little bit more.
And I think you hit the nail perfectly when you said the whole thing about, well, they have evolved throughout this tournament. They have just gotten better and better as we move further on into this bracket. At the beginning, we saw a very sloppy Godsent. The Godsent we saw in this last best of 3 against Alternate is very different and is way more confident, is way better, hitting more shots than we saw against LDLC. The last question is, how is the mind game going to affect Pronax? Because as they said on the desk, he did not perform very well last time against Existence. If he can get rolling as well, I think Godsent has a great chance of making it into the playoffs.
The other thing is we're going right back to train 2, and this is just where Godsent got finished up with wiping the floor with the guys from Alternate Attacks in the last map there. So they're looking good. They've already kind of warmed up on this map too, so they've got a little bit of an edge in that regard, which should make things very interesting. But as you can see, everybody's in the server. We're just waiting for the players to ready up, and then we will be able to get into the match itself and get started.
Yeah, definitely. Train again, as you said. We talked about this in the previous game. If you weren't around for that, we can elaborate a bit more on this. Godsent really a great team on both sides because they have that AWP potential in so many players. So they had JW on the aggressive side on the T side with that AWP, and on the CT side they have actually 3 players who can pick up that AWP depending on where they want to play on the map. So they have a lot of utility in player material on how they're going to play it around on the map. and we are jumping straight into the pistol. And what are Godsent going to do? They're going to start on the T side.
And LDLC will jump on the defense here. 5 armor for everybody on LDLC to start things off here for that CT side. Only a decoy being bought by XMS, but obviously that's not anything huge there. Similar buy from Godsent, but obviously they've had Pronex pick up something a little bit more, some utility for these guys to use, and I believe one bought a smoke in the midst there too that was just tossed out onto the site. So fast execution in the default setup coming out from Godsent, and they're already moving out, but a passive hold from LDLC. They found 2 over there towards upper, and there's Existence again. We saw it in the last time, and he's going to bring it out once more here. The one taps from him is going to net him that first kill, but he doesn't stay alive for very long. He's immediately traded out. There's XMS though with an additional pickup. That's going to drop JW. Has he spotted Pronex though? He has not. Pronex will be able to round his way out, take him down, and this goes evenly down to a 3 versus 3, but with Godsent having enough control to be able to go for a plan.
Oh, nice of Mistu pick it up that one. So now it's a 3v2, but look at the HP on Alex and Mistu, both very low. Twanu has to be the one who goes in for the individual battles, and he goes for the first one. Alex goes down though. Twanu goes down as well, and now it's all on Mistu. Mistu versus Snyder. 1v1 and the bomb is dropped.
Mistu also very low too. He's down so much HP. 19 left in him to try and win this out, and he's hiding in the corner. Schneider, though, can't seem to hit that 1 or 2 bullets that are needed, but he doesn't take much damage from that either. He'll fall back. He knows where he's positioned now, so he can plant the bomb accordingly. And as Mistu slowly sneaks his way out there, he'll get close to the bomb train. Unbeknownst to Snyder, he's trying to be cautious and kind of back away from the situation so as not to get flanked out, but he'll peek from the right side. Tries to flick it, and again, the shots just aren't connecting. Finds him in the open, but does not decide to strike. Holds back, and as he peeks out again, just not finding that 1 or 2 bullets is needed. Schneider, you have this in your hands, and finally he will close out. Just a bit of an extended 1v1 there, but it does go by the way of Godsent.
Compared to the way that Godsent plays as a team on T side, they want to go and get that very quick entry and get that quick bomb down on the bomb side where they push. That last one we were dragged out for a long time, mainly due to Pronax just missing shots that normally Pronax hits, or not Pronax, Snyder hits. Basically 3 or 4 chances to pick up a single frag on a 19 HP player, something that usually he does every single time in the first try.
So for Godsent here, now that they have the edge in their favor, again, things are going to, imagine, kick it up a notch here with the speed that they may take this route upon. Already sending a lot of their players over here to the back B halls. Boxhall's positioning to push down towards ramp, and Mistu kind of poking in there a little bit to see if he can find any damage, but those nades are going to do quite a bit to him. Knocking off 30% of his HP, and he will quickly start to fall back a little bit after he throws 1 and 2, but obviously not much success being met there. Complete miss nade, not doing any damage at all to Godsent.
So, interestingly enough, we do have Twanu on the light version of the AWP this one. He has purchased himself a sniper rifle. This one is, of course, a scout. So, very interested to see how he's going to make that work. But other thing that is interesting is that Alex has pushed out of Ivy, or back alley, if you will, and is just securing landmass for his team and getting information. They know it's going to be a big push now. Everyone can rotate, but is it too late? Flush it on the side. Molly goes down as well. Surely bomb is going to get planted now. The CTs have to retake this and have to kind of gather up before... Oh, wow. Okay, that's a good start.
And with that, we do see LDLC's Alex picking up the kill against Schneider there, but the bomb's on the ground here, and everybody from Godsent has a good hold on the site. Alex responding again by knocking out Pronax here. He's the only player that's had impact, however. Beyond him, everybody else is getting slowly knocked out here. They're doing damage, but they're not really making enough impact. There's XMS finding one, the trade rolls in once more, and for Alex, since he retrieved the AK, he doesn't want anything to do with his retake. He's actually, you know, I mean, he had his chance at it, to be completely honest, if he played the angles properly, but he's going to choose the more economically friendly option and decide to fall back over here towards Ivy and save that AK for the next round.
And I think that's a great metaphor for the way that LDLC plays, because they don't have as talented individuals as they have on Godsent, but they play clever, intellectual, and safe CS every single round. Probably also because, well, their team leader is existent. He's known for that. So quite good choice, I think, from the LDLC player there, saving that AK going into the next round, seeing if they can open this one up and get a bit more out of it.
Now again, the Godsent guys having their good start about this, and LDLC not able to upset immediately in the second round. They go on to, for the most part, what's just going to be another light investment for them. P250 is the Deagle on Existence that I think is tossed over from Alex, who saves the AK, and then obviously he still has that to work with, but that is it. Nothing really else significant beyond that, and Godsent realized this, so they're going to move into Crush quickly. They have to be careful of Alex, specifically for this reason. He can play to an aggressive spot and prevent them from taking control, but there's no support system set up, so after he finds 1 kill, the trades roll in. Twanu finding 1 on his own, but that'll be the end of it pretty quickly after that one. Lekro holds a good position outside of the ladder in there, and dominates the A site.
Definitely. Now we do see the buy round coming in. So LDLC, now they have the chance to make the difference. Now they have the chance to get into this game. Of course, on the CT side of DE Train, we expect them at the least to get 8 rounds, and preferably more. Usually we're looking at 11-4 or 10-5 halves. So LDLC have the work cut out for them right now, and they're going to purchase, well, pretty much the weapons they need. Tuano is going to be on that glass cannon, so no armor for him and no utility either. The rest of the team on a normal buy. Tad low maybe in the utility, but they have already thrown a lot of smokes across.
And again, very quickly aligning themselves over here towards Ivy too, which is something that we saw Godsent utilizing a lot in that last match. Alex gets a spot onto it though, so he will pretty quickly toss out that Molotov to prevent them from being able to push in here. It's held back. That's not going to stop players like Schneider and Flusher from trying to find their own entries there. Flush is still working with the SMG, so he's going to be a bit limited in this regard, but they could also send some of these Ivy guys back to initiate the hit elsewhere. Either by changing it up entirely and taking it to the inside site, and then just having this Ivy guy act as a bit of a delayed push, cut off the rotators, or obviously just going back to the default there. But it's going to be Tanu that gets aggressive over into the box halls there and finds Flusha, who's just checking to prevent exactly that, and fails at his mission, and because of that will lose his life, bringing this into a 5-on-4. No map control has been gained beyond this yet either, so Godsent are losing in all aspects currently.
Yeah, definitely, and JW is just waiting for someone to peek, but of course LDLC, they know that JW usually plays this back alley position, and they're just not going to give him the satisfaction, so they're just going to play a good defensive CS and just wait for the terrorists to commit to anything, and then they can take a decision when they have an idea of what the terrorists are going to do. Alex just holding the angle, and he's just going to stay there, and the smoke goes down, so here we go. Hot Flash surely coming in as well, and well, he could either spray through or just go for this close range peek. JW just handles him.
And with that, all of a sudden, there are ways into the bombs that have been opened up again. That's a nice flick from JW. Finds XMS after he takes down a teammate. He's going to look for more of them, try to push their way in. Back over through Z. Doesn't get it, but Schneider does. He's going to find 2 quick kills from outside of the ladder room, taking down Mistu and Existence. Leaves it all into the hands of Tanu. With 10 seconds on the clock, Godsent already able to find the plant. So now it ticks in the other direction here. He's got to look for the clutch, but Tanu doesn't realize the push comes out from JW. It's a big heroics from him on that up.
Yeah.
Keeps the lead going for Godsent now, up 4-0.
So basically from a position where they're one man down and 3 guys in the same position and looking to hit the same position for 30 seconds, JW is able to open up with the first one, allowing his teammate to go even further on into the side. We see the beautiful flick right there. Bam. Onto one of the CT players, and even picks up a third one as well. So hero round from JW, who's finally stepping up again for Godsent. This is the JW we saw in Fnatic, where he's just going out with the AWP, taking weird shots, winning most of them, and just trying to carry his team best he can, and he's doing that right now.
Flusha already being hit early on in this round, but that's not going to stop these guys with the eco being up and rolling for LDLC. Need to try and find some positional advantage that they can work with. That's one of the key things for LDLC, but at the moment it's just not clicking. Pronax knocking out XMS, Alex being eliminated in the backside there too. They found pretty much all these guys already.
Yeah.
Tanu looking to surprise over here from the alt tunnel, but not looking likely, and down goes Mistu, so it is just on Tanu here. Try and pull off some sort of damage, but found by Flusha, and Flusha will take him down. A very clean one from Godsent, not getting upset by any of those pistol upgrades that LDLC brought to the table.
Yeah, definitely. Now we do see once again the second buy coming in from LDLC, the second full buy, and this time around they're going for the double AWP. And it looks like it's going to be Existence on the AWP, which is something that usually he doesn't go with. So very interested to see how he's going to tackle this one, because, well, if they would have dropped and switched it to another player, they would have done it by now. So it's going to be Existence on the AWP, and he is going to go outside with it.
We see Godsent again sending a lot of their players over here to the back of the B bomb. So the bomb itself obviously still kept at a median point to change things up, as Lekra wanted to go directly into the site that time against a gun round and a double op setup nonetheless. Now he doesn't know about the double op setup, didn't know it anyway on the way that he pushed in. But still, a bit of a ballsy move there that just does not pay off. Held well by LDLC, and it's obviously going to cause a bit of a stall on Godsent.
Yeah, it's a good idea, because basically by now they know that Godsent really like doing quick, flashy plays outside to get that early positioning, that first kill in. And what they do is they play 2 AWPs outside and cover the 2 angles where they can basically push out a T connector. So they're sure that there's going to be an AWP to take the duel with the AK whenever that happens, and it pays off. So now they are 5v4. JW is on 46 HP. And this is looking good for LDLC.
Two still waiting in the bomb site too. As you mentioned, the positions are good. They've aligned well with the hit. It's all about the guys from Godsent just not being able to get the read as far as where the defense is positioned. They've even taken down JW there, and Twanu catching the first player, pushing it upper. Almost hits the shot on the player pushing ramp too, but now he's going to be able to aggress forward a bit. Flusha, that's a messy spray, but he still gets the kill and a miss too, and that's going to give him the ticket to get into the bomb site. Being careful though, he should have spotted some of those guys on the left side, but still letting them kind of go forward here, and that's where Alex is going to crush. Twanu moves in there, finds the final kill. They do allow Godsent to escape with the plant, but that's pretty much all they accomplish in this round. LDLC are finally going to get a point onto the board, going up 5-1.
Yeah, and they bring both orbs into the next round, so economy's going to be looking very good for LDLC compared to the fact that they're behind 1-5. Godsent, of course, winning with these 5 rounds, are going to have money to buy up again. Snyder might even have money to buy up again if they lose this one, so money looking good for Godsent, and they are going to be able to purchase everything they need, all the Molotovs they need.
And again for LDLC here too. A victory for them, of course, but still the delicacies of immediately being reset are always an issue here, especially on a map like Train, where your ability to keep these big sort of power guns in play, like the AWP, is very, very necessary to be able to control a faster-paced team like Godsent and the kind of style that they bring to the table. So they need to make sure that they don't get upset here and immediately lose 3-4 players so that their economy is thrown into the fray, because this isn't a map like Cobblestone where you can go to these SMGs and shotguns and have relative effect. There's really only 1 or 2 spots where those guns can work out for you here, so you need to try and keep yourself up to a full buy like this on every single round, and that can be troublesome if you continuously run into these clutch situations that you have to win out.
So right now we're just on, well, pretty much on par with Pronax. Following him, he's in this Pop Dog area, and well, we have Existence and XMS just outside. Existence still with the AWP, doing battle with that T-main, and Pronax will be catching him off and getting that frag, and he knows something has to be close, and he gets that second frag as well. Pronax, great job from him, and now a big advantage for Godsent as they have picked off 2 players on this other side bomb site, but Twanu is still here with his AWP, and can he do even more damage? He's got 1 already. Can he double down and get this? No, Pronax once again. God Pronax comes in with that triple 19 HP to spare, gets an assist as well. Very good job from the aiming game leader. That's
the Pronax we've been needing to see now, and
yes,
he's shown up to the party here so far, looking pretty good across a lot of these rounds, of course. And LDLC putting up a good fight, specifically Twanu, again, a player that, we needed to see him most definitely show up, has done so, and he's leading the way for his team. The problem is the rest of the team has kind of yet to be seen. Existence, again, who had a great performance in that first map, but kind of been absent ever since, to be completely honest here. Alex having a couple frags too, but all the big impact frags have been coming from Twanu for the most part, and again, has been relying on that op.
Definitely, and now we do see the force up coming in from LDLC, a bunch of 5.7s and XMS with 1 M4. So this is a round, of course, they would like to win, but economy-wise and money-wise, this is not a big investment for them, just buying whatever they can and chuck that money in Godsent, and hopefully that will win them the round. But not the best one, to be honest, not the best chance they have.
Well, we see now for Godsent, again, all their players grouping up here, but much like every round before this one, no decision being made in terms of where they're going to take the hit towards yet. The bomb kind of redeploying currently into T-Con, so this leads it into being the default A, but XMS is in a 6 spot, assuming they execute and the smoke is still set up. He's going to move from it, though, and try to play up aggressively. Nobody at all watching for that ladder push, which means that could be the kind of linchpin that throws it the other way, but XMS just goes for a wide peek, and that's easy punishment for Schneider.
See, that is something I would pretty much categorize as non-LDLC-esque. Going for these aggressive picks, this is not something that I usually would see LDLC doing, and they're losing players to this. I would have them down. Oh, that is sick from JW. But I would have them down as playing the more defensive positions, the positions that they're sure on. And here we go, Barbecue coming in. Twanu is actually not going to get barbecued. He's just on the edge of that.
Well, he's still going to be pushed to Mo by 2 players. That's a great flick to find the first one, though. And also JW stuck around the corner. He's going to dodge. The op shot gets out of the way of it. He does try to look for the op pickup, however, and that's where he's finally going to meet his end. But again, still damage being done here. So keeping the money from Godsent at a bit of a sort of sustainable limit that they can control when they aren't able to reinvest here. Forcing those 3 rebuys certainly isn't going to do any favors for Godsent in the long run here. They won't be looking at like 3 players over 10K like they had towards the end of their last map.
Yeah, but look at that, already 6.4 for JW and 7.4 for Snyder. And on the other side of the board we have, well, LDLC with 2K on each player. So money-wise, it's pretty clear to see. You can see that bar on the top of your screen. It is pretty clear who has the money right now. LDLC, though, can they do something with this round?
And again, Schneider looking to aggress back over here towards the ramp. There won't be a lot of fear here in this run. Just need to take things slowly as Flusha taps away, finds Tonu sitting in the back there. They'll be able to knock him out of the fray. And obviously, the slow-paced play is not necessarily fearfulness, more just cautiousness.
Yeah.
So as not to run into any players that'll be hiding in corners. As these Deagles, if they invest into them, they can be a bit tricky to play with here. So just make sure you take your time and you don't go against, don't lose any players that really weren't necessary to get knocked out in this one. As they move in, Frynex finding himself in a bit of a tough spot. Alex, though, the bait works out. Alex able to find a nice plot in that smoke, rolls out. He almost gets a second kill. Mistu ends up picking it up there, but again, the trades are still heavily favoring Godsent currently. Brought down to a 3v1. Existence hiding behind the train. He gets that headshot angle versus Lekro, but it's a much easier shot for Lekro to connect. So Godsent are going to close out, and I think the first tactical pause is going to come in from LDLC here.
Definitely. LDLC needs to figure out what on earth is going on right now because it's not working out at all. Just 1-8 on the CT side of Train. That is a horrendous scoreline for them.
Yeah, and it's going to allow for Godsent, like I mentioned before, the snowball factor that I think showed up to a big degree on that last map when we did see a good start from alternate attacks and then it faded away. They brought it back a little bit. They were able to put a stop to it, but just as they came back again, Godsent rolled back in there, and we saw some good stuff from them. So considering that now, they need to find a way to put a stop to the snowball in itself before it gets completely out of control, and Godsent just stomped them here on this first map.
So let's see here. What are they going to do? They're going to buy, well, pretty much a standard buy from LDLC. 1 AWP on Twanu. He has armor as well, but no utility. So what they're lacking right now is basically smokes. They have 3 or 4 out of 5 smokes, but just lacking that on Twanu as well. Just you want to have those 5 smokes pretty much, because then you can just take the time out, make sure that usually the terrorists don't push them unless they're Stewie 2K, someone like that. So you can kind of create this wall that 9 out of 10 times the terrorists are not going to rush through. So that's going to be a bit of a problem for them. Look at it. JW now trying to go for some cheeky plays. Twano picking up the first one, but easily answered back from Lekro. And what JW is doing right now is just holding his position that XMS is going to come in, and he looks away the exact second that XMS pushes in, so that's incredibly unlucky for JW, but Pronax holding this site down.
Pronax again just trying to play with this a little bit to waste time, but the nade rolls in, finishes the job for them, and all of a sudden this is down to a 3v1. Schneider was supposed to be flanking to knock these guys out, but the problem is that these guys on the bomb site couldn't actually even hold on, so now he's the lone player in a 1v3, and they're going to expect this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
They've already got a guy looking towards this. That's going to be Alex looking to stop it as he pushes in. Schneider looks for his opening entry and actually gets it. A nice headshot connection, but now there's a wedge being driven between both the remaining CTs. A blessing and a curse, as in theory he could isolate these into 2 separate 1v1s, but if he doesn't catch on to the position, he's going to walk out into his own death in just about a second here. They've spotted him, and there you have it. Existence from the backside will take him down, and LDLC finally claim their second after a pause.
So that was actually quite interesting from LDLC, the way that they played that B bomb side without any smokes on lower to begin with. So pretty much just saying, yeah, you can walk in here, it's no problem. And then when the terrorist walks in, they're ready with the 2-man hit squad and just takes them out completely. You can see JW, of course, watching towards that CT connector to see if someone rotates in from that. But that's not really the case because they already have the CTs in on the side to defend it.
LDLC off of that one again, though. Still need to try and find the consistency factor. Picking up more than one round in a row, as obviously Godsent had enough cash flow to be able to buy in again, so LDLC need to try and find the same thing here. And opening kills once more goes into JW's pocket. Takes down Alex there, but Existence from up on top in heaven there. He's able to respond. Doesn't stick around either. Dips back downstairs. XMS, the support system. This is what's good. This is what we need to see. Changing his position constantly around the train. He will lose his life, but he's picked up 2 kills before doing so. Now Existence trying to play around in the smoke, but he's taking a lot of damage, and now he's got a piece out of here. But he's actually found one of these guys. Doesn't decide to pull the trigger initially, though. Holds back, hesitates, and that's going to cost him dearly. Thankfully, Misto, he's able to move in, finish the job for his teammate, and now everything is left to flush in the 1v3. Chaos on the site, so he's got to try to find a good position to play with, and he can't even get the first kill. Misto is going to immediately shut it down, and LDLC will get their third.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest, it was a good start for Godsent. Basically, what they usually do is they send JW down towards Ali with the AWP and hope for him to do the opening peek. And if he gets that opening peek, they're going to rush onto that outer bomb site. They get the opening peek from JW, they rush towards the bomb site, but they just get stopped in their tracks by LDC. They know exactly what's going on. They have really studied this at home and are ready for Godsent here on train.
More than likely as well, that could have been the smoke bug that prevented Existence from spotting that player there up on top of the train is often the likely culprit. I don't know if that's ever been fixed. So
That is true.
We'll assume
Ask Valve.
that it was the bug, because he literally looked right at him and didn't pull the
Yeah,
trigger. So, expecting the best.
So right now, JW once again with the AWP. Not much agility from him. That's going to be one flash to open up that outer bomb site for some of his teammates. On the CT team, we do see the double up setup. So Existence and Twano both with AWPs and decent setup for those guys. Oh, wow.
Dirty flick from Existence, though, immediately making up for the kill that you might have let escape from him in that last round there. Picks that one up, drops Pronax, and I mean, again, LDLC are right back in the driver's seat here. Lekro, though, pushing through the short lane. Nobody suspects him, and now he's got Ivy cleared out. They've got multiple angles to work with to take control of this site. XMS moving in, but he hasn't spotted this player below. Thankfully, it works out so that he gets him on the drop down. JW finding the kill as well here. A second to follow it up against Twanu, and it's just going to leave 2 up and running for the LDLC side. One hiding back a little bit here, but oh no, Lekro's going to walk right into it for free. It's just on Mistu, and Flush is going to knock him out, giving Godsent their 9th.
So that was really well played by JW. So what he did usually when JW goes towards Ivy 9 out of 10 times, he will not go backline. He will go the opposite way around and move his way into some sort of a hell position or somewhere else, way far away from the bomb. This time around, he goes to backline, the position he yet never uses, and LDLC just not expecting him to be there. And he can pick up those frags easily. Existence just not even looking at him when he gets picked off. And of course, dirty flicks and headshots coming in from JW. So not much you can do really, but the positioning is on point from him.
So off of that one again, the game will get even more intense here against the favor of LDLC, but as we can see, they're going to try to push this forward. Lekro spots it, though, and grabs 2 very quick kills, putting an end to that aggression. And actually, might be correcting myself here in a second, as it looks like Mistu is going to push himself in, hunting for at least 1 more kill, but when he sees that guys from Godsent still have a presence here, he will start to slowly back up. Twanu in the back there tries to draw the attention away from himself and onto the player that had pushed up initially, but Mistu's long gone by the time he actually engages, so they're not going to detect it. Existence tries to sneak too, but Lekro spotting that one. You just can't get past Lekro, and now he's on the cusp of an ace.
Yeah, definitely. Good round by Lekro so far. Could finish the job and pick up the ace. Mr. Sin, CT connected, just no chance in hell that he's going to be able to clutch this one. But perhaps he could grab a weapon here or there. There goes an AWP. That would be great, saving that. But oh, okay, Mister, he's just not caring anymore.
And a third too.
Triple frag. Excuse me. Is going to be a good scenario for him. If we asked him, would you grab a triple frag and then die? He would say, yeah, I'll do that. No worries. Especially from that round from LDLC. But once again, we say this a lot. It's of course great getting these kills to destroy the economy, but they need rounds. They're 3 to 10 on the CT side of train.
Lekro does end up getting the ace, by the way, at the end of that when he claims that final kill. So a great round from him, putting an end to that aggression. But still not a bad round overall for LDLC with the amount of kills they managed to get. Unfortunately, we can't be calling these rounds, good rounds for much longer here, considering the fact that we're approaching the end of the half. These economical victories don't really matter that much anymore when the scoreline is still this desperately in control for the Swedish roster. And, well, JW is going to find himself a bit of a hole in the smoke there to be able to punish Alex. Thought he was safe. The opposite case. He's knocked out very quickly, and JW, no fear at all, goes into the Molotov. A fast response comes in from Twanu, but look at this from XMS, pushing into the smoke, and such a casual kill onto Flusha. Picks up the AK, and now he's running back into the B-bomb site to regroup.
That was great. That was absolutely great. Just reacts very, very quickly to that kill and just grabs a weapon, gets out of there, no seconds wasted, so he's going to be able to regroup with his teammate and retake together if the bomb gets planted, but so far the bomb is not yet planted. Pronax getting one, you would not expect a second guy there, so that's why XMS can get that kill, but he will get it, so getting that revenge frag, no worries. Now, it's time for the bomb to go down, I think. I think the terrorists need to get this one down and then hold it in post-plant situations because Twano is getting extremely close. The bomb will go down, and now Twano's AWP is going to be a bit hard because he has to make his way in towards that bomb site, but he makes it work! Snyder goes down. Now Lekro, 1v2. Can this guy who aced in the round before, can he make it happen again? He does make that spray happen, and now a grenade in hand. Twano not going to go for that direct peek or direct defuse.
He knows he's crossing out, though, so he should be able to combo this. And there you go. He gets him into the open with the whiff spray. Gets him ducking, and now he's trying to play with his ladder a little bit. 26 HP. He's got to get the hell out of here. Twanu still way up at 74. Playing with the op power, so he's got to switch to the pistol, and he's wasted so much time. This is the key factor. There's no longer any time. Twanu will get the kill, but it doesn't even matter, as Lekro has successfully delayed it, and with that, he'll still be able to claim the round, which this late into the half is the very important thing to accomplish.
So what we've seen in the last couple of rounds from Lekro is that he can frag, gets an ace, and he can clutch. And those are the 2 important factors that Godsent need from the new player. Of course, that and entry fragging as well. We've been talking about that, but That is impressive from Lekor, and finally looks like he's in a place where he can actually perform to his normal A game, because in the first game we had against LDLC he was not looking good. Against alternate attacks at some points did not look that good either, but now he's looking great.
And Godsent here on their last round are going to split themselves up again into the default pattern here. Sending, looks like JW once more will be the player trying to entry back over there towards Ivy, as the rest of LDLC, well, since it's been so heavy on the outside pushes, obviously they're going to send the full 4-man commitment over here to the A-bombs, and only keeping Mistu up close there on the ramp to prevent any last-second B hits. XMS finding one kill there. He's trying to find the spray here so he can pick up a second one, but actually it's Alex that picks the kill against Schneider, who joined. I believe that was JW back over there on Ivy, knocking him down. All of a sudden, it's 3 up and running for Godsent. And quite a few of them are trapped in positions where they cannot really afford to push currently.
So here we go, Alex picking up the first one. Pronax not really picking up anything from that spray with the AK, and he's just constantly trying to battle, but the CTs are just hiding from him. They don't want to face right now. Flusher trying to make his way to the inner bomb site. One player hiding there behind on that bomb side, just in the angle, but Flusher just trying to make his way in here, just trying to get the frags, and he's going to make that frag happen through the wall. No worries from Flusher. Picks up yet another one, surely, but no, the damage goes in, not the kill. And now Pronax is rotating in to help his buddy Wood. One CT coming in from behind with a huge flag, but he's going to get down, and now the rotation is coming towards the outer bomb site.
They're ready for this A rotation, though, and there you go. Twanu gets the kill, gets them walking right into it, and Alex grabs the final one. So LDLC puts something else up on the board before the end of the half. 4-11 is the scoreline. We've seen this happen plenty of times before, so it's not necessarily GG yet with that decisive of one. There's still definitely room for LDLC to bounce the comeback and steal this map out of the hands of the Godsent roster.
Definitely, but now they need this pistol round. They need it so badly, but luckily for them, they have one of the best tacticians in CSGO, which is Existent, so he's going to have pretty much a field day. Going to set that one up.
Not only that too, but so far from what I've been able to tell from the leadership role of things, it has seemed like Existence has been kind of winning that battle when it comes to strats versus strats. Not necessarily the case in this map, unfortunately, but it is a bit tough to drive that CT side when they're so limited for so much of the half there. We saw them struggling to really even get the basics up on the board for a lot of the rounds, so can't really fault him on that with things kind of going so out of control for so much of the half.
Yeah, this is the side where the guys from LDLC can actually shine with some great setups and just great tactics in general. And Existence is going to be spearheading that one. Let's see what they're going to work out. And oh, we actually just get a tiny replay here. Smoke shot from XMS. Has to be irritating to be on the back end of that. And then the wall shot from Flusher as well. Just vintage Flusher stuff coming out.
So we'll get back into it here. LDLC 4-11. Quite a bit of a mountain to climb, of course. And if they lose the pistol, it's going to get even taller. Early on in the round, though, Godsent actually sending full 2 players into the B site. But we have that aggressive push from Blackrow into the back B box halls there to be able to spot anything that happens early. And since he hasn't found anything, these guys should be free to put a little bit more weight on that A site, especially with this hit that's about to come in. JW spots it almost as it begins, so they'll have plenty of time to rotate into this. I'm not sure if he spotted the bomb, but it looks like he has now, since everybody's on the way from that B bomb site. It doesn't necessarily mean JW is safe, though. He's been surrounded, and he's going to rely on Flusher Rapid and all. Flusher dinked initially, down to 2 HP, but he's able to recover. JW, though, found in the open, still fragging out here. 29 HP, but he's returned the favor with a kill onto Alex, bringing it down into a 5v3. They backed out of the site. They're going to play retake on this one, but still, they've got a huge advantage, and all they got to do is capitalize on it. At the same time, they've got to secure these players who are very, very low on HP. They baited them into a trap now as they bring them into the back, but LDLC, they're battling back out of it here. Existence pushing forward. Twanu and Existence picking up kills left and right. Lekro spawning with one. Pronax barreling through. He's going to pick up one. The trade in, but Lekro finishes things off with the last kill. There'll be enough time for the defuse, and with that, Godsent claim the second half pistol.
And that was great by Godsent, and we talked about LDLC just needing this pistol round, and it does not work out for them. It's going to be 12-4 for Godsent. And actually, did you notice when Snyder has his hoodie on, he just plays way better when he's just in his t-shirt? He's not looking that good.
Not been paying attention to that.
Yeah, I just noticed that. So basically, they need Snyder to have the hoodie on at all times.
Might get a bit like hot. There's a problem. You're gonna like
might happen.
You might get all sweaty, and then you just can't play properly. It's not a fun time.
So here we go, 12-4, and the force up from Godsent. They're going to try whatever, and the same is going to be the case for LDLC. They are going for this ballsy play where they fully force up after that bomb plant in the second round. So let's see how that's going to work out. XMS could open up, but he gets it in the end. But instant revenge frag from Snyder.
Godsent pushing themselves forward here, but LDLC bouncing back now that they have the AK in hand. Of course, they've gone right forward on this run. They've gone for that raid boss buy, and it's worked out. But Pronax will put it all to pieces. He's going to push in. Missed though, putting a quick shutdown onto that one. Takes down Pronax and leaves it with only 2 left alive. Schneider looks like he has that shot, but I think it hits onto the wall at the very last second, saving Existence's life. He's also got his opponent down very, very low here. So picking up 1 kill and leaving everything down to flush it in the 1v3. Trying to do the wraparound. It works. It knocks him down. He's out of ammo though. Has to go for the quick trade, and well, he's just running the luck because that one's going to be out of ammo too. Thankfully, he was in his safe spot, but on the peak, Alex will shut it down and cause the trade round to come in from LDLC. That raid boss buy pays out in huge dividends, and now they're right back into it just as they were about to lose control.
Yeah, great round by LDLC, and it's also a very interesting call from Existence. The team leader, he's going to say, okay, I'm going to buy armor, you drop me an AK, I'm just going to wreck this. And he actually goes in and they win the round. So ballsy play from LDLC, and it pays off. 5-12 now, and well, Godsent is going to be in the back foot for just a couple of rounds here until they get their buy sorted.
See again, LDLC proceeding on a similar path, leading into these kind of defaults that we saw Godsent utilizing. Look at this from JW. Oh! The Zeus from JW! No regards at all. Moves in, steals his opponent gun. He may actually go up the ladder to look for a little bit more here, but just regrouping. Godsent again taking back control of things. We may have ourselves another trade speed. Twanu is trying to stop that, but all the damage being done from this Deagle, Electro has in his hands at this point. Bringing Alex down to 1. Twanu sitting at 56 HP in Existence. The only player still at 100, but that Zeus play from JW has thrown everything into chaos, and LDLC have lost control of the bomb.
Yeah, definitely, and now Flush is going to come in from behind, and let's see if he can get something done, lining them up like JW did on Cobblestone. And he's going to go for the first one. He's doing the damage, but long range is not going to work out well. He does get some damage in, and second frag coming in now as well. Now Alex on 1 HP has an impossible mission on his hand.
1 HP, but they don't really know where he's at. So he could sneak this in and get a 1-tap to be able to bring it down to a 1v1 where anything is possible. I think the prioritizing mission at this point, though, is going to be to get that bomb on the floor to guarantee the extra cash at the very least. And in order to ensure absolute safety with that, he'll fall all the way back over to the B-bomb site and just try to smoke this off.
And let's see here, smoke dropped in that CT connector, but no CTs are going to come from that position. And, well, if he can take this first one with a 1-click when Flusher goes down here, that could be a good start, and he does. So now it's a 1v1, and this is actually doable because JW has a scout.
He's got it done at 2 HP now. He's trying to play it so cautiously. 1 HP versus 2 HP. JW solo. He wants to peek it, and he's actually done it. A huge play from Alex with 1 HP. He clutches 2v1. So smart, and Godsent play directly into his hands. They steal that round out of the hands of the Swedes.
But that was classic.
Even tries to dodge it by jumping off the ladder too, and nope, I saw that move coming.
But nonetheless, LDLC will get that around. As you said, 1 HP clutch from Alex, absolutely perfect from him. 6-12 now. LDLC behind with 6 rounds, but still they have the economy now. Godsent will be forced into an eco in order to buy up in the next one, yeah, LDLC probably looking to grab another one onto the board.
Godsent again sneaking their way down here. So LDLC prepare to sneak in themselves here. Godsent have tried to get into positions, but they've left the ladder room completely open. JW's not even paying attention to it there, and he's wide in the open for it. That's a free kill for Twanu. They haven't noticed, though.
There's a second player!
He's gonna, oh, no! Okay, thankfully he gets that kill at the very least, but the trade comes in, and overall in the eco, it is going to be tough for Godsent to really accomplish a whole round victory here. They boosted Lekro up, and he's actually got a good angle. Lekro, he's been showing up in this map to a huge dividend so far, so he's going to pick up 1 kill there, hunting for a bit more, but obviously that's going to be very tough. Existence taking him down. Flushes now the last man up and running here in the 1v3, as LDLC will finally be able to move in for the plant.
So here we go, Flusher. Can he make the miracle work with the Deagle? Probably not. Taking out to 4 HP.
Next peak is probably dead. No. Wrong.
No.
There you go. Next, like, 6 peaks, it seemed like it was.
But the end result is the same.
Yeah.
Flusher dies.
Maybe he hits like 1 or 2 more shots in there, but
it could have happened. But nonetheless, LDLC going to find themselves on 7 rounds, and well, it's looking a bit better for LDLC compared to the thing that we had in the first half, where it was literally only Twanu showing up. Now the rest of the guys, Alex has shown up with 16 as well, Existence and XMS with 12 frags each, so not too shabby, but they're still behind here. Godsent still has that controlling and the driving force, and JW on a max 7 buy in the buy round.
Lecker is like a huge outlier on that graph, though, when we just look at Godsent. So some good stuff from him, but the rest of the team, we need to see some prowess from them. And once again, Lekro, he's going to push his way up the ramp there, catches that first kill. A second one, and he almost gets the third. It's Schneider that comes in to get the seconds. He'll be able to shut out some of the rest of these kills, and immediately it's Sanamistu in a 1v4 with no bomb control and no map positioning at all.
So let's see if he can make this one happen. It's going to be very hard, and the odds are going to be stacked against him. But technically, he can gain a lot of map control and a lot of access. There's only one player, and that player is Godsent Pronax, and he's going to take him down. And that's going to be the 13th round for Godsent. They have some money in their favor now. They could buy if they lose this one as well, apart from Flusher, who's just bought another one. But money in their bank as well. LDLC buying up completely, just trying whatever they can to get something done. And, well, it's going to be 2 Deagles on Existence and Twani, and then 2 rifles on Alex and Mistu.
So again, with Godsent up and in front here now, LDLC need to try and find a way to counteract some of this one, whether that's just pure outright aggression or some other form of tactic that we have not seen them try yet. Regardless, the buy here on this round is going to be somewhat pitiful. Only a single AK, Alex having to go down to a Galil, and the rest either with Deagles or Tech 9s. Utility beyond what they've already used here is going to be rather limited too. Down to just 2 smokes after Mistu tosses that one down the ramp. Existence and Tanu have the only 2 left to work with here. And it looks like, again, they're just going to try for the default into A, but Godsent obviously is prepared for this.
So let's see here. Lekro has been pretty much a man of the map so far for Godsent, sitting in a rather interesting position in heaven. Snyder boosted as well, so 2 interesting positions from Godsent. Not really capitalizing on it so far. The terrorists are going to get in towards the spawn side and take some of the map control, but they are stacked at that electrical box, and they're going to get down slowly but surely by Godsent. Pronax coming in with a double, and Flusher ending it off 14-7 in favor of Godsent.
Full control for Godsent now.
Yes.
It is looking a lot like the end of that last map that we saw against Alternate Attacks 2, where, again, just to bring this point up once more, they got the ball rolling. Now you're not going to be able to stop that. Pause would certainly be needed here from LDLC. I think they've only used 1 so far, so they still have all 3 of their pauses if they want to try to use them, but it may have gone a bit too far here now, and it would cause quite a... it would require quite a lot to really bring them back from the brink here, as Godsent have now successfully doubled the scoreline of LDLC, and LDLC can only invest in a Deagle armor buys in this round.
And let's see how it's going to work out for LDLC, because, well, if they lose this one, it's pretty much going to be a map over, and they're going to be thinking about the next one. But if they get this Deagle round to work, they might be able to string a couple of rounds together. Then they can take a timeout and really make sure that the strats are in place for the last couple of ones. So there is some hope, but with JW just shutting down XMS to begin with, and second frag surely coming in here as well, it's looking rather bleak for LDLC.
Pronax holding back here. Again, pushing back in. He spotted Twanu, so he's going to go for the spray, and he gets him. Now, this is spotted by Pronax there just as he was tossing the smoke out. Got a little bit of a glimpse at him, and is able to punish that. Now it's down to Mistu and Existence here. Trying to work something, but Existence is already heavily lit too. They know where he's playing, somewhere in the back B halls over there, and they've got 2 guys in the site. The bomb is like way over outside of T-spawn too, so I mean even these players do not have any hope of winning that round. They're just going to kind of give themselves to the death god and let this go up to match point now.
So here we go, map point in favor of Godsent. They can secure that first map in this best of 3 and make themselves a bit closer to actually going to the playoffs of this tournament, and which is something that looked a bit far from reality after their first match in this tournament, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, it's just been a slow and gradual kind of upbringing of Godsent here. The more they've been able to play today, the better they kind of looked, and it's coming up with a much more different game versus LDLC than we had earlier on Overpass. Still, 1 more map, assuming they close out this round, to be claimed, however.
Yeah.
They don't want to count their chickens yet, I believe is the proverbial phrase there.
That is correct. So right now we are going to see LDLC trying to force their way into this inner bomb site, but Flusher just says nope and flashes them and just delays the whole thing. JW is going to pick up 1 kill outside, and well, it's incredibly hard to see how LDLC could win this one, because they're going to have to push inner with Alex trying to flank, but they're just getting picked apart. There's just no worries. XMS finally getting something done with a Deagle kill, but he's 1v4 in basically a round that he has to clutch in order to survive in this one. And JW jumps in with the AWP carelessly. Will give his life as well, but surely there's no way that... Okay, then there's no way if he picks up the AWP and Pronax just rushes him, and that's going to be map 1 in favor of Godsent.
Good stuff again from Godsent, and a huge map overall from Lekro, the new talent for this roster, showing up in huge, absolutely giant strides, saving them in numerous rounds and clutching things out there. Definitely a map to be remembered for him.
Yeah, definitely, and just we had some talks about this on the desk, like, okay, how is this going to go down? Most of us said that this was going to go to a 3 map, so most of us kind of predicted that, well, Godsent were going to be able to take Train, and that has happened now. Now the question is, do LDLC have it in them to reset and then take their map choice just 2 and bring us into map 3?
Of course, they'll have a few moments to kind of go outside if they want to and figure things out, figure out what exactly went wrong and how to counter out the power, but it seems like a new Godsent is here compared to the one they played earlier, and it's going to take a lot more effort to counter that out. Something that some of the newer players that are just now being brought kind of into the international eyes on this LDLC roster may not even really have yet. Again, experience, I feel like, is a really key factor here that I brought up a few times when talking about this team.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're gonna talk a bit to the guys over at the desk to see what they thought. I know Vendetta is probably sad right now.
I wouldn't say sad. He's got a slight grimace on his face. His hair's a little more messy than usual. How you feeling, bro?
Wasn't quite the performance I was hoping for.
No,
I'll admit as much.
But you did say it could go to a 3rd map. Or was that me? That was me.
No, it was both of us. We're in this together.
Okay, we're all in this together.
Do you know the dance moves?
Dear no.
That's from High School Musical. I just realised why I just started singing. Oh, okay, not a cool quote, Alex. Not cool.
Moving on.
Not a cool pop culture reference. Yeah, I mean, Godsent firing on all cylinders, right? You guys, like that's what you just witnessed. That looked good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, and like I said, Lekro, I mean, certain players are actually looking a little bit weaker than some of the Prismas, but like I said, Lekro kind of came in there, and that was a performance we had not seen from him yet, so it's really a bit of a gamble in terms of who's showing up to the table, but it just seems like now at least 1 or 2 players are consistently bringing the fragging power now, where before it was kind of lapse, and we weren't really seeing that at all, unfortunately.
Well, maybe we'll see it more on Dust 2, and we'll see you guys on Dust 2 as well. All right, cheers, boys. Dust 2 will be next, but first we have to understand where it all went wrong for LDLC and all went right for Godsent into Train, of course, running with that momentum that we saw them build up just previously on that very map versus Alternate and Tax. In fact, that was the map where they threw the knockout blow to the German side. The first team eliminated here. Following that one, we did see Heroic. One of the invited teams did get eliminated from Group B. Yes, we did it in the other order. We did it in the other order. I got confused last time. But yeah, they have been eliminated, and Hellraisers do have to continue, despite them saying they have to sort their stuff out. Of course, games being played parallel to this one. But it was LDLC and Godsent on Train that we're here to discuss, gentlemen, and I think we have to start with the man who believes in LDLC, unable to make things happen and translate success here.
Yeah, very much so. And well, for the better part on the CT side, obviously getting off to a rough start, and that's never beneficial, especially on a map like Train. Same thing goes on a map like Cobble as well. When you get into that horrible situation, when you first end up winning a round, you get reset immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
And obviously you had situations like the 1v3 clutch from Lekro as well. Doesn't really help your situation, but I think that was actually largely more to the fact that Godsent were playing really well. They had, they had some urgency to their play. They were playing a really high tempo. They were adamant about going quickly down into yard. Yeah. And for the better part of it, LDLC couldn't find a good solution to it, whether it was partly because they didn't have the economy to have the nades to slow down things initially, but again, that's a result of Godsent just doing a good job from the get-go.
I mean, this is what we were talking about. This is something we see throughout a lot of CSGO right now too, is when you have good individual players and good individual players show up, there doesn't have to be too much more to your play.
No, I mean, it's all about, it's the grind. Virtus Pro, Na'Vi, those teams are very known to have that style in Train on T side. I wouldn't really get to see any executes from Godsent because they didn't need to. They would... I mean, I don't have the numbers on right now, but I mean, if you look at the opening kills, the amount of opening kills that Godsent got in that first half, it would be a pretty dramatic number steering towards Godsent. But yeah, halfway through, you saw the LDLC take a timeout. They tried to be a little bit more passive, not even go up front towards ladder where they were getting wrecked as well. Kind of worked for a round, but then it seemed like Godsent just found another gear once again, and they just overwhelmed that outer bomb set so many times.
I mean, a 1 HP 1v2 from Alex couldn't save them, but you are seeing stuff from Godsent that you do get Fnatic flashbacks, right? JW and Pop Dog with a Zeus, JW bouncing around out of Ivy, hitting no scopes, Flusher going for long range mag 7 shots. Like this is the this is the dumb shit that we know Fnatic for, and those players are doing it now.
And it looks like they're having fun while doing it. Like
and the sounds they're making, exactly.
That was actually something that we hadn't really heard in the first 3 maps we've seen them play. For a second, because obviously there's not a massive delay in the green room. It's like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But in tight situations, we can hear a scream, and I was just automatically assuming that was the French guys because they had been vocal, in their previous guys. Well, the Swedish, being typical Swedes in that sense, quiet, just going about their business. Yeah, but they were making noise, like a lot of noise for the first 8 rounds. So they're getting into it. So again, go back to the point of them being a confidence-based team. Yeah. Seems to be brimming.
Decibel levels and confidence, definitely a correlation.
Rising.
Yeah, but we have to look at the scoreboard just to demonstrate one man and one name in particular, which was highlighted by the guys on the caster desk. Look at that, head and shoulders above the other. A perfectly symmetrical score as well. 13 on the first, 13 on the second for Lekro. And you can see that didn't necessarily translate the same for the rest of his compadres, but more even across the board. Not an underperformance from anyone really on the Swedish side.
And something that Jona mentioned really initially was the fact that they found a lot of opening frags. And JW, even though he's lowest in terms of frags, he found a lot of openings towards Ivy.
Yeah, if you look at if you compare the numbers too, I mean, it is quite lopsided.
4 frags on one half, 16 in total. That's madness. I do like that. I like that we get to see the first and the second half scores separately.
I hate to break it to you, but that's actually headshots.
What was that? Was that what I was looking at?
Yeah.
What, the 4 and 14?
No, 4. Like the things that are kind of like striped out. That's headshots.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well. Oh, that's a lot of analysis down the drain. Excuse me for trying. Are you sure? Are you positive? Why would they put headshots on kills?
Because
out
of 16 kills, he had 4 of them were headshots.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Production is confirming
I'm
that.
sorry, PGL. I misread your graphs. Please forgive me.
I noticed it like you did it the last time.
I did it the last time.
But like nothing bad came out of it, so I was like, okay.
That's a really good idea, though. I mean, hey guys, graphic department, great idea. Show it first and second half.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Let's do that from now on, so I don't look so stupid. They're taking. Yep, there you go. Feedback provided by me. What's stop me looking? I'm actually blushing. Oh dear.
Something good came out of it, right?
Yeah, that doesn't happen often. Okay, then with our first map done, I don't feel like there's too much more to be said about Train. I want to make sure we have ample time to discuss our second map. This is where you guys called it the French domain. You described us two as not a pocket pick for LDLC, and you were very unsurprised that Existence and his boys were picking that one up. Do they have a good track record on it? Do any of you guys have it up? I mean,
not
I don't think this team has a good track record on anything.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but on Dust 2, like they have picked up a few wins, but a lot of them were, for instance, at ESWC where they play versus teams who aren't necessarily at this level, which is a bit of an issue. While you have Godsent, even though they haven't been in good form, they've been playing upper echelon teams the entire time. So even if they have a negative score, just statistically, that doesn't really mean as much as LDLC having a positive one, because the level of play is very different. So I'm not feeling too hot given how the first match turned out. Like going into the second one, that LDLC are going to be able to do this. So, but I can't really back out on my prediction.
No, you can't. You got to stick. So you're not feeling too. You're doubting the French side now. You shouldn't have said that, because watch them absolutely rock Dust 2 now. Watch them.
Oh yeah, well I couldn't be happier if that was the case, right? In any case, it's a win-win.
Yeah, but I mean, do you not think that we're treading on two different territories here now? Always we describe Dust 2 as a map that doesn't necessarily require as much structure. Existence we've just been praising for bringing structure to a team, and we've been praising Godsent for having strong individuals, which we usually expect Dust 2 to favour. And so we've got an intriguing discussion to have here, Natu. Surely when you put the players of like Godsent into Dust 2.
It's a flow map, in my opinion. Dust 2.
A flawed map?
No, flow.
Oh, flow.
You need the right flow in terms of what strategies you're pulling. In the right rounds kind of a scenario. Because on the CT side, it's a gamble of, are you going to hold long, are you going to hold short, are you going to have more emphasis in the middle, what are you going to do? And obviously on the other side, you have the Ts, what are they going to do? If they're going to have the good spawns for long and there's no one in there, and so forth, right? So it's a matter of getting that right flow, especially on the CT side.
Right? Yeah, I mean, if Godsent's entries are coming in again, we know that Schneider and Lekro seem to be the names now.
Yeah, especially Schneider in pistol rounds. He's doing very well for himself, and obviously getting off to a good start, pretty big for the Swedish side. But I'm going to be interested to see how the CT sides, well, for both teams plays out, but especially LDLC, because if we go like far back into the past, and we talk about Existence teams on Dust 2, their CT sides were unorthodox in the sense that they were fairly aggressive. So you'd see, basically a lot of activity. For instance, they had a pistol round where they would boost 2 people up on catwalk have 2 to 3 people end up towards B initially, pushing into upper dark, basically like grabbing a ton of control towards
Center
B and
map,
mid.
yeah.
Exactly, and just leaving long open for a potential retake and everything. And they did a lot of stuff like that. And something similar to how you see G2 play Dust 2 from time to time, with a lot of aggression into lower dark and basically creating chaos. Obviously, like a team like Godsent would be equipped to actually deal with that. But again, it's a heat of a moment kind of a thing, and it's on LDLC to make sure that it's on Godsent to actually reply correctly instead of just letting them play their own game and just having a good all time with setting up for smokes and everything.
I mean, it's been 3 consecutive maps now for Godsent. We'll be going to decide if they can make it 4 as they're trying to take it into Dust 2 now. Two back-to-back best of 3s. And before we can bring your casters and that second map in, we've got another question from the community coming in. This time, let's see what the name is. Oh, what is this?
Oh,
Henry G, CSGO says,
wow.
Why isn't Natu sporting a beautiful mustache?
I mean, there's like maybe
I'm looking really closely.
5 hairs there, probably, I'm guessing.
I'm saying like good 6 or 7. Can we not just transfer some of that chin to the lip? Is that?
Yeah, that
can the graphics department actually like add mustaches?
I mean, technology is a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but are you Movembering, or is the wife not allowing it?
I mean, there's an attempt.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's the problem. My genes are not, in my favor in this.
Basically,
it's all here.
What he
you're a Henry. To be fair, what's Henry talking about? Excuse me. Right, chin strapped. Careful. It's on thin ice here.
I want to see Henry grow mutton chops.
No, he could rock those.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Like full-on denim, like denim jacket, denim jeans, denim scarf. I don't know, like
it's brilliant. It really is. Just to clarify, by the way, we're not doing this just for fun and games. I don't know. We haven't said it on the stream. Yeah. We are growing these disgusting flavor savers for charity. The entirety of November, we're going to be growing mustaches and committing ourselves to likely celibacy. You can go ahead and of course check all that information out on all of our Twitters. I'm sure you'll find it if you are so inclined. But we are going to be taking all in good health, of course, promoting men's health and awareness for mental illness. But we're going to go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to be seeing Dust 2. So we hope to see you there for our second map and LDLC's chance to bite back.